it's been a short while since I made a movie, and one of the reasons is because I decided more or less to change the way I make movies, make them a little bit more interactive and whatnot. It's going to be incremental, it's going to be slow, but yeah, because of that, I haven't really been looking at subjects for the time being. But I did find something to give myself a little test on, and that's slam poetry by Muslimas. Um, I'm not the first one to make a response to this one. I found this one because of Top Hats and Champagne, because he made a response to it, and I thought, you know what? I wanted to say a few things slightly different. Probably not as good or as bad as Top Hats. I do advise people to go and look at the Top Hats one because it is fucking brilliant. That's something else though. But it's also for me a tryout to test something. I bought myself facerig so I can animate my face a little bit, or not so much my face because I'm not showing my face. I can animate my avatar a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have the avatar I want to be using because I haven't got it yet, but I want to try out facerig nonetheless. So I will be using another face, but it will be on top of everything that I normally have. Yeah, I've said just about everything. Okay, so facerig, facerig.com. Top Hats and Champagne will be linked in the bottom. And Youth Speak, Muslima Slam Poetry will be linked in the bottom. Let's get started.
Bomb squad! Because we Muslims
We Muslim
get
get it? Bomb squad.
Okay, as I said, this will be a face rig test, and this avatar will not be my final avatar, but I don't have the avatar I want yet, so for now I'll just stick with this one. It looks pretty fun, doesn't it? I mean, it was either this one or a demon, and considering that we're going to talk about Muslim slam poets, I thought a demon might not be the best way. Anyway, you called yourself Bomb Squad, and then you have to explain the joke because you're Muslimas. Basically saying, haha, we're Muslimas, therefore we call ourselves Bomb Squad because of the stereotype that all Muslims are bombers. Um, to begin with, that's not a positive stereotype, and guess where that stereotype comes from? I'm not sure if this is something you want to be bragging about. But then again, that's just me.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace be upon you.
May peace be upon you, Bomb Squad? Seriously? That's the message you want to bring from the Islam in your slam poetry? May peace be upon the people in Paris. May peace be upon the people in Brussels. May peace be upon the many people around the world being victimized by the very bombs you so like to make fun of by calling yourself Bomb Squad. May peace be upon you, and I hope you will never have to learn the atrocities that Muslims are creating in the world.
Who goes home and kisses your mother on her cheek and tucks your little sister into bed.
Who probably doesn't know that the woman whose face you spray painted
Go home!
over is also a daughter.
A sister, a human.
Yeah, because I mean, spray painting "go home" over a face of a human is a terrible thing. But are you now also forgetting that the people who died because of bomb attacks by Muslim extremists were human? And the people who did those bomb attacks, even though they were Muslim extremists, they were most definitely human too. So I'm not quite sure how this is an argument. And I know you're just doing a slam poet thingy, so it doesn't have to make sense. But I mean, double standards perhaps? It just seems that way.
Who refuses to believe that even though she was born and raised in this country, her modesty and ideology make her foreign, alien, dangerous.
A threat to freedom.
The very freedom you're stripping her of.
Yeah, you know, the ideology of Islam is somewhat of an issue, a problem. Do I think all Muslims are bad? No, 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 no. But you do seem to misunderstand reality in this. After all, I'm pretty sure you still have your genitals, but trust me, in just about most of the Muslim world, you would not. The only reason you do is because you're not in the Muslim world. And this is a problem people recognize. Therefore, non Muslims in the non Muslim world fear the Muslim world. I mean, not just taking into account that there are terror attacks, that Sharia law is pretty heinous, and that most Muslims get killed by other Muslims because they feel they're not Muslim enough. It kind of makes the whole religion seem a little bit scary to us non Muslims. And you don't understand that. I wonder why.
May peace be upon you who plays Call of Duty to practice being a soldier, so the life of the enemy is laid upon the buttons of your controller.
Because you don't want to see what happens to little Muhammad once he grows older, so you're practicing for the day you can finally get some closure.
Okay, so I could bring back pictures of people killed by little Muhammad when he grows older. But that would be unfair, because not every little Muhammad kills them, but Muslim extremists on average do. And you seem to think that playing a shooter game is the same as practicing killing people, which still is worse than actually killing people. Because this is what you're defending. You're defending people who kill people out of an ideology. Anyway, good fun.
And just because the Muslims threatened you, you give us all the cold shoulder, knocking us all out like we're the pins and you're the bowler.
I think you need to redefine who you think are the boulders and who are the pins. And if we agree that the pins are the innocent people who get killed, who die out of nothing, then I wonder who the boulder really is, because I'm pretty sure it's not some guy playing Call of Duty on the computer.
May peace be upon you who takes your daughter's hand and crosses the street when you see a bearded man about to pass you. A man who's just returned from the mosque, where he knelt to the ground and cried as he prayed for his father's health. But in your eyes, he's probably a rapist, scum of the earth.
Evil to the point where just sharing the same sidewalk with him will taint your child's
Milky white innocence.
I love it how you keep starting with peace be upon you. And I have a hard time not thinking it's sarcastic. But then again, why do people cross the roads when they see a Muslim coming their way? You know what? I'm not even sure that is actually happening. I've never done it myself, and I don't know anyone who has. But I could once again start talking about why people fear certain Muslims, especially the ones that look really devout, because we know that most of the extremists can be found with the devout Muslims. Ask any Shia Muslim why he's afraid of a Sunni Muslim, a devout Sunni Muslim. Ask any Sunni Muslim why he's afraid of any devout Shia Muslim. And I'm not even talking about Wahhabism and Salafism, just those two. Seriously. And don't you find it funny that even within your own example, that bearded man returning from the mosque went there to cry in tears for his father? Not his mother, not his sister, not his wife, nor any female. He went there to pray for his father. You still think that the Muslim faith is all about equality? You should read the Quran. It's quite scary.
May peace be upon you who let the hijabi girl sit alone during lunchtime.
All she got was stares, like she's a suspect of some crime.
She was innocent, but they would always whine
That the hijab on her head was an ISIS sign.
she was the butt of every joke, at the end of every punchline.
Yet you didn't talk to her once.
Couldn't save her, not one time.
If only we could save that poor hijab-wearing girl from being a Muslim.
May peace be upon you who can spend hours on Tumblr ranting about how we shouldn't be in this country, but can't take 5 minutes to see from our point of view.
Can't even look up the difference between Arab and Muslim on Wikipedia.
You say you're fighting terrorists from behind your computer screen, but can't see that you're the one terrorizing me.
You know, this is kind of funny. You're complaining about Tumblrites bitching and moaning about Muslims. And it might seem negative that they do, but do you not recognize how the Western world fears the Muslim religion and why it fears that Muslim religion? Instead of playing the victim, how about recognizing what is going on and seeing if you can be a force for good? And I'm not saying you should stop your religion altogether. I mean, that's up to you. Then again, I wouldn't advocate you would, because that would basically be saying that you are going to kill yourself. Because if you are a Muslim and you decide not to be a Muslim, you just signed your death warrant. And this is why the Western world has a problem with the Islam. I am circular here, never mind. Continue.
May peace be upon you,
who stopped that innocent dad from seeing his child.
because of his beard, his name, and his clothing style.
He can't wear a kufi without you assuming that he's so vile he just hasn't seen his own daughter for a long while.
But when he tried to board an airplane, he was accused of being hostile because of you, who prejudge based on a profile.
Yep, prejudged based on a profile. I wonder where that profile came from. I mean, it's not as if most bombers or hijackers in planes at the moment are Muslims. So that can't be. Oh, wait. No, they are. Well, in that case, that profile makes sense, wouldn't you agree?
You know, when we were doing research for this poem, we Googled,
Why are Muslims so?
and here are the top 10 results.
Why are Muslims so crazy?
Those Aladdins,
Why are Muslims so violent?
those ninjas,
Why are Muslims so angry?
those towel heads,
So stupid.
those sand monkeys,
shallow.
those rag
So
heads,
strict.
those sand kissers,
So barbaric.
those bin Ladens,
So fanatic.
you Arabs,
So intolerant.
you sand niggers,
extreme.
terrorists.
Oh, it's just so stupid because listen, those words mean nothing to me because they don't define me.
No graffiti artist is gonna tell me to go home.
No Call of Duty player is gonna threaten me.
No overprotective bigot of a mother is gonna ruin my day.
No ignorant bystander is gonna leave me feeling left out.
No Tumblr post is gonna scare me away.
And no biased border patrol is gonna stop me from seeing my family.
Because today is one of the holiest days of the year, and instead of spending time with my family,
I'm up on stage defending my family.
Something tells me when you start Googling on why are Muslims, you will not get things like towel head or sand nigger or shit like that. So I'm thinking that's just your own attribution to some of the things Google did show. And yeah, that Google shows you why are Muslims so violent. I can understand. Can you understand why people are looking at why are Muslims so violent online? I mean, considering that most of the terrorist attacks at this very point in time are being done by Muslims. And okay, I will grant that they are being done against Muslims as well by those very same Muslims. I mean, Muslims have more to fear from ISIS than the Western world, I think. But the fact is that a lot of people have something to fear from Muslims. This is the problem with the Quran. The Quran actually tells you it's okay for you to lie, to deceive people, to not let them know what the Quran asks you to do. Are all Muslims bad? No. No, there are very good Muslim people out there. I mean, not everything in the Quran is hatred or vile or set to kill people. It's really not. I'm not defending that. You're not defending that, funny enough. You should be defending that. But what you are defending is how people look at Muslims negatively, and that should not be the case. No, I'm sorry. You are a Muslim. You don't want people to look negatively towards Muslims. Then you should lead by example that you yourself do not recognize yourself to be a Muslim like those negative Muslims are. Are you doing that? No, you're blaming other people for looking negatively at you. How is this fair? How is this smart? Anyway, um, your movie is nearly to an end, so my movie is nearly to an end as well. The main thing I would want to give to you, my dear Muslims, is not that the Western world hates you. It may seem like that from time to time. I understand that this might seem that way, but we do not hate you. We are afraid of you. Do something to help us get rid of that fear instead of complaining how we are afraid. Because complaining how we are afraid, sorry, you're feeding into our fear. And don't tell me that my fear or the fear of the Western world for Islam is unjust. Because if we look at Molenbeek in Belgium, or if we look at Paris in France, and these are just two. I mean, I'm not talking about Turkey where shit happens. I'm not talking about Mumbai. I'm not talking about Indonesia, a country where 98% of the population is Muslim. They still have Muslim terrorism. So if one Muslim can kill another Muslim with impunity, sorry, how the hell am I to be safe against Muslims? And then don't tell me not all Muslims, because I know that it's not all Muslims. But can you tell me the difference? Because I am curious. This is what it's all about, the difference. We're not afraid of Muslims, we're afraid of Muslim extremists. We can't tell which one are the extremists and which ones are not. And that is the issue.
Because when society makes plans,
They don't think about us.
I wonder if an international youth poetry slam in the cultural mecca of the South would be held during Christmas,
Easter, but it had to be on Eid.
and because it's Eid,
We're up here to say, may peace be upon you, BNV. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Eid Mubarak, everybody.
And then the very last bit of what you do is you scream and shout and are negative because BNV allowed you to come and defend your faith on a holy day of your faith and not on a holy day of their faith. It was your choice, though, wasn't it? I mean, it's not as if they said, oh, you have to be there, because if you're not there, it's your fault. You chose to come. Somehow that's bad, right? And I mean, people are not allowed to say anything negative on Islam because that's unfair. But it's okay to say negative things about other people. I mean, for example, you're angry because they made you come on your holy day, but they should have made you come on their holy day. Who cares? It's a religious thing. I don't give a fuck. BNV probably won't give a fuck either. And I'm sorry, but you're in a predominantly Christian area, in a Christian nation, so they don't celebrate Muslim days. If you do, then why the hell are you there? It's not their fault, it's yours. You're the one doing this. Anyway, I have had enough. I'm going to stop. I tried out different faces on facerig. I gave my response to these Muslim girls who really need to read up in the Quran. I mean, they should read it themselves. There's a reason why a lot of people are not so positive towards the Quran. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this movie. Criticism, as always, is welcomed. I'm very curious what you guys think about this facerig thing, and see you all next time. Oh, no, wait. Like, subscribe, and I forgot the third one. Never mind. Criticism, as always, is welcome. Bye bye.